Welcome to Forever Stranded with Arturio Emerys. Now, I know this may look a little weird, but we are actually going to start over. And there's a reason for that. The reason is the pack was updated and there are changes, oops, F1. There are changes that, F1 again, to the game, and I wanted to kind of start fresh and play all of those new changes. And also I installed a texture pack, and we'll see how this goes. So we've done this before. This is the first quest where you're supposed to find these items. It's pretty simple. All right, we're gonna put that down. Okay. Big tree, not good. Grass, not phenomenal. Is that grass or dead grass? I don't know. Dead bush, sticks. It's all a little different because I've installed the mod pack, which I don't normally like playing with mod packs. I normally like just kind of playing vanilla, but I figured I'd give it a try. Some people had said, you know, they prefer playing in mod packs, so we'll see how it goes. So as always, the first step is to gather up cactus to build a wall. I'm doing it differently than my last playthrough. Rather than trying to avoid everything throughout the night, I'm going to try to gather up the supplies to build a wall before night gets here, and then we'll worry about trees and stuff like that. That's my plan. We'll see if it actually works. So basically, I'm going to need roughly 3 stacks of cactus in order to enclose the entire orbiter. And then I'll deal with the huge tree later. It's kind of unfortunate to get an oversized one initially. I mean, on the one hand, it's a lot more resources for fewer pieces of bone meal, which is good. But the bad side is it's a lot harder to safely harvest that. So that'll be a little bit of a challenge. So the dead bushes look like little tufts of grass, and they give sticks, as always. And we're going to try to get as much cactus as possible. And this is the wing of the orbiter that was torn off during the crash landing on this planet. And underneath it somewhere is a chest that is a trap chest, and there are explosives, so it will blow up. Eventually I'll dig it out. In my previous playthrough, I actually didn't dig it out, I just kind of left it. And by the time I found out that it was there, I had already tore all of this down and cleaned all of this up, and it would have just been too much work to try and find it at that point, so I just left it. So we'll come over here real quick and we'll dig up this this grave that has a chest underneath it. It's got a book in it. The book doesn't really say anything useful, so we'll just ignore it. But the chest is useful. There's also one other thing that I'm going to do differently in this playthrough. It is my intention, and we'll see how long I stick with this before I decide it's too much of a pain to continue. I'm going to try to, every time I die, you can actually make a tombstone. There's recipe for it. I think it takes dirt and cobblestone, and you can make a tombstone. So every time I die, I intend to take the death note and make a grave for it with a little chest and a gravestone above it. Somewhere. And that's going to be the tricky part, is I need to put it far enough away that it doesn't interfere with the base I'm going to build at some point. But I don't want it to be so far away that it's troublesome to get to it. So we'll have to figure out how to make that happen. So basically I'll dig a little hole, put a chest in the bottom of it, put one death note in it, fill the hole back over with sand, and then put a tombstone on top of it. That is my plan, to try and make this at least a little bit different from what you've already seen. And, like I said, we'll see how long I carry through on that. There may become a point where I decide it's just not reasonable to do that. So my plan for the first episode here today is I'm going to go until dawn of tomorrow. And that'll be the first episode, and then I'll do the second day, and that'll be the next episode. But I am going to keep the numbering with the series I already have. This is just going to be a continuation of the series. All right. Unfortunately, I hope I left myself enough time here. All right. Let's see if I can get a fence up. This is the tricky part, because if you don't have enough cactus, you still leave gaps anyway. So hopefully this will work out, that I've left myself enough time to make this work. Oh, that's a mistake. Ow. If I keep doing that, I definitely will have to do a graveyard much earlier than I had intended. All right. We'll see if we can get this done. I'm not sure. I'm starting to think maybe I spent too much time gathering cactus. I didn't leave myself enough time to make this work. And I may not have left myself enough room right there around the tree like that. But we'll give it a shot. We'll see what we can do. I'm not positive, but it kind of looks like did they start you with 2 health previously? Or I'm sorry, with 3 health, or was it 4? Because this time I definitely started with 4. Sand, okay. I need enough sand to close the gap behind the orbiter. And I'm hoping that's enough, because that sun is rapidly setting. So some of these are in the way that makes it a problem. So there's just a couple of these that I need to break, like that one right there. And unfortunately, they take time. I don't have a pick. I don't have time to make a pick. And there is a trick to making a fence like this, is that you have to start in one spot and kind of work continuously. Because if you do a piece of it and then do another piece of it, they don't always line up, and then you may have to tear part of it down. That's really the only way to do it. All right, come on, there we go. I think that's enough. Am I? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's getting dark. We'll see how this goes. There may be a few deaths. There may be a few deaths. See right there? That would be a problem. Okay. Yeah, this may not work out for me. This may not work out. I'm going to try anyway. Very, very, very close. Cutting this very, very close. I can't tell if mobs have started spawning. Uh-oh. Remember when I said, yeah, see, that's the problem. That's not going to work out for me. That's not going to work out for me. Where did I mess up? Because I messed up somewhere. I just don't know where. It was probably over here somewhere. Oh, ouch. That will give me some protection. Not as much as I'd like. And there's going to be a gap somewhere. Maybe if I can come up here, I can see where I messed up. Because so far I don't see any place where it shouldn't work out. It looks continuous. Oh! There's death number one. Somebody snuck up on me. Now, I have to resist the urge to toss this. I need to keep it. He has a shovel, and I have never, ever seen those guys drop a shovel when they're carrying one. Oh. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. So somehow I have to get out of here and get away from the ship safely, which is going to be tricky. There's a skeleton right there. He's going to shoot at me in a minute. So while we're out here, we'll see if we can gather some resources while we're avoiding all of this. And it's possible we may be able to lure stuff away from the ship. And I may even be able to gather some more resources real quick. Cactus specifically. Because that's what I'm in most need of. Alright. Not exactly sure what's chasing me. Skeletons would be bad. Ashen would be bad. Creepers would be bad. Anything else is not that bad. There's a creeper there. Okay, here's part of the problem with this this texture pack. I hate the mobs. So, I don't know what to do about that. Alright, are there any... There are mobs following me. There's some creepers behind me. Oh, if I keep that up, I am not going to make it through this night. Alright, some of the mobs are trapped inside my fence line. Yeah, that's my mistake right there. Right there, that was the mistake. Alright. keep your eyes down below the horizon, and that way the Endermen won't ever make eye contact and they won't ever aggro you. It's when you inadvertently put your eye line above the horizon that you may accidentally make eye contact with a creeper. So basically half of my fence is going to have to get torn down because I made one mistake in placing a block. So use this as a lesson. Don't be like Arturio. And there's quite a few creepers out. Quite a few, and they are peeling off and following me. There's some that are dying on the fence now. Not many, because there's too many gaps in it to really be effective. Alright, let's see if I can get a little more before I have to move. I'm keeping my eye on track as well as I can, given the circumstances. Yep, there's a lot of them on me right now. There's a compressed husk to my right, and a regular husk with a sword. Neither one of those are good things. But one death isn't horrible. There's another compressed husk. He just despawned. There's creeper and spiders. I'm not having great luck when I break the dead grass for getting sticks. I was hoping to get a lot more than that. And in the graveyard that's over there, there should be more. Oh, that's a compressed creeper back there. Alright, let's see if this will work. Some of these guys outside the fence here may beat themselves up against it. Oh, spider. Spider, spider, spider. Oh, yep. But that's actually not bad. That one is inside the fence, so it's not going to be real hard to recover it. And let's see if I can get past this guy. So it's still kind of gathering resources, and the sun is just starting to rise. So how many of these guys do I have? I've got a lot. I'm going to try to pull as many of them away from the vehicle as possible, and they may despawn. And then hopefully the ones that are around the vehicle will either burn or despawn or something. Yeah. Everything's still chasing me. And in just a second, the sun will be up high enough that we'll no longer get spawns. There's a couple of witches out there. Because it doesn't really do you any good to evade the mobs all night long, like I did in the very first episode, if you have to spend all day also evading the mobs. So that was a painful mistake to not be able to get the fence in properly. That is going to hurt me. So at this point, the sun should be up high enough. Actually, I'm not sure why that spider is still chasing me. Maybe because it aggroed me before the sun set. So all of these mobs that are chasing me, yeah, some of them are burning, but not all of them. They should despawn and I should outpace them, and they should stop chasing me. There's two still there. may be a couple of mobs left, but for the most part, they should all be gone. Oh, interesting. He didn't go inside. He almost tricked me, but not quite. And now that the sun has risen, that is the end of the first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. And we'll start episode 2, or actually it's not episode 2, we'll start the next episode right now.